There are moments in life when we look around and feel like everyone else is being blessed. We see people getting promotions, entering new relationships, receiving unexpected breakthroughs, and it's easy to wonder, God, did you forget about me? We compare their highlight reels to our behind-the-scenes struggles. But let me speak directly to your heart today. The favor of God has not overlooked you. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to manipulate your way into it. You don't even have to be perfect to qualify for it. The favor of God will find you. You see, favor is not just about things going right. It's not only evident when life is smooth and the sun is shining. Favor is the supernatural touch of God on your life that works even in dark places. It's that inexplicable advantage, that open door you didn't knock on, that opportunity that calls you by name. Favor is God leaning in your direction, arranging things, shifting pieces, softening hearts, and creating divine alignment that only heaven could orchestrate. If you've ever felt like you're being passed by, I invite you to leave a comment right now. Say, I'm believing favor will find me. Let this be a declaration of faith, not based on what you see, but on what God promised. Now let's go deeper. When we talk about the favor of God, we're not talking about luck. Favor is not a coincidence. It's not karma. Favor is intentional. It's precise. It is God placing His hand on your life, often in seasons where you least expect it. You might feel like Joseph, betrayed by family, misunderstood, falsely accused, left in a prison cell. But even there, in that place of darkness, the Bible says, "And the Lord was with Joseph and showed him favor." Joseph didn't need to climb his way out of that prison. He didn't have to prove his worth to the world. All he had to do was stay faithful. And that's what I want to encourage you with today. Favor follows faithfulness. You don't have to fight for it. You don't have to compete for it. You don't have to pretend. Just remain faithful to what God asked of you. Keep showing up with excellence. Keep honoring God in secret. Keep loving people when it's hard. That kind of faithfulness draws favor like a magnet. Favor has eyes. It knows exactly where to find you. It's not distracted by distance, delay, or detours. You could be in the middle of nowhere, doing the most ordinary task, and God's favor can show up right there. David was just delivering lunch to his brothers when he walked into a divine assignment and defeated Goliath. Ruth was picking up scraps in a field when Boaz noticed her. Moses was tending sheep on the backside of the desert when the burning bush appeared. What do all of these moments have in common? They weren't striving, they were serving. And in the middle of their serving, favor found them. And maybe right now you're doing your best, but nothing seems to be shifting. Maybe you've been praying for open doors, but all you see are walls. Let me remind you, delay is not denial. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. God's timing is perfect, and favor is not on your schedule. It's on His. It may come after the heartbreak, after the disappointment, after the bankruptcy, after the diagnosis. But when it comes, it will be worth the wait. One touch of God's favor can accomplish what years of effort never could. So often we think God's favor is only present when we're being celebrated, when we're promoted, when people applaud us, when we're in the spotlight. But let me tell you something important. Favor often moves in silence. It works behind closed doors. It develops in the shadows. It doesn't need a stage or recognition. In fact, many times, the favor of God is doing its greatest work in seasons where it feels like nothing is happening at all. Maybe you're in a season right now that feels slow, hidden, or even frustrating. You're working hard, staying faithful, trying to keep a good attitude, but nothing seems to be moving. Let me encourage you. In the silence, God is still speaking. In the stillness, He is still working. The ground doesn't look any different. The day before a seed breaks through the soil, but deep underneath, life is moving. Roots are forming. Structure is being built, and when the time is right, what's been growing in secret will be revealed in strength. Favor is like that. It starts beneath the surface. God is aligning the right people, preparing the right opportunity, developing your character, expanding your capacity, so that when He brings the increase, you'll be ready to carry it. Don't mistake preparation for punishment. Sometimes, God withholds the blessing not because He's forgotten you, but because He loves you too much to let it arrive before you're ready. Leave a comment right now. I'm trusting God in the preparation. Let your voice be a declaration of faith in what you cannot yet see. Let's talk about Elijah for a moment. In 1 Kings, Elijah's servant kept looking toward the sea, waiting for a sign of rain. 6 times he saw nothing. But Elijah said, "Go back." On the 7th time, the servant saw a cloud the size of a man's hand. That small cloud carried the promise of a mighty storm, an outpouring of provision. Some of you are on your 6th look. You've checked again and again, and still nothing. But I hear the Lord saying today, go back and look again. What you've been praying for is forming, even if it's not visible yet. That's how favor works. It starts small. It looks insignificant. It feels delayed. But it multiplies fast. When it's God's time, no one can stop it. Not the enemy, not your past, not what people said about you. Because when God opens a door, it doesn't matter who tried to keep it closed. His favor overrides every opposition, and this is so important to understand. Favor doesn't mean life will be easy. In fact, sometimes walking in favor puts you in difficult places. Jesus was favored by the Father, and he still faced rejection. Paul was highly favored, and he was still shipwrecked. Daniel walked in favor, and he was still thrown into the lion's den. But here's the difference. Favor doesn't always prevent the fire, but it protects you in the fire. It keeps you from being burned. It makes you stand when everything else says you should fall. Maybe you're in the fire right now. Maybe your health is under attack. Maybe your finances feel like they're hanging by a thread. Maybe your heart has been broken more times than you can count. I came to tell you, the fire is not your end. It's your proving ground. And favor is with you, even there. God's favor is not something you can earn. It's something you align with. It's not about perfection, performance, or pedigree. It's about posture. When your heart is positioned in humility, gratitude, and obedience, favor begins to flow. You can't manipulate it. You can't force it. But you can prepare for it. You can position yourself to receive it. And when it comes, it will accelerate you beyond anything you could have planned. Sometimes favor doesn't look like success at first. It looks like a no. It looks like being passed over. But often rejection is redirection. God closes a door because it's not your door. And while you're standing there frustrated, He's already preparing a better one. The favor of God doesn't settle. It selects. It chooses what's best, not just what's available. You may have been overlooked by people, but you've never been overlooked by heaven. You may feel like you're in the back of the line, but God knows how to call your name and pull you to the front. He did it for David. He did it for Esther. He did it for Joseph. And He can do it for you. Take a moment and write this in the comments. I'm next in line for favor. Declare it by faith, even if everything around you says otherwise. Let me remind you, favor doesn't mean there won't be resistance. In fact, favor often attracts opposition. The enemy doesn't fight what isn't a threat. If you're experiencing spiritual resistance, that may be confirmation that favor is near. Don't shrink back. Press in. Don't get discouraged. Get expectant. God's not done. You're closer than you think. Remember this. When you walk in favor, you don't need to chase people. The right relationships will be drawn to you. You don't need to push down doors. The right ones will swing open. You don't need to prove your value. Favor speaks louder than credentials, louder than critics, louder than your past. One moment of divine favor can do more than a lifetime of effort. So how do you live in this favor? You stay close to God. You prioritize His presence. You spend time in His Word. You keep a grateful heart. You choose joy in the waiting. You honor God with your words and your actions, even when no one is watching. Favor may take time to show up, but it always shows up where God is honored. And don't forget, favor isn't just for you, it's meant to flow through you. When God blesses you, it's so you can be a blessing. When He lifts you up, it's so you can lift others. When He opens a door, it's so you can hold it open for someone else. That's how His kingdom works. That's how favor multiplies, when you share it. Let me speak this over you today. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not too late. God's favor is finding you. It's moving in your direction. It's overtaking your fear, your delay, your disappointment. And it's about to open doors, release provision, heal wounds, and position you for something greater than you imagined. Has God ever favored you in an unexpected way? Share your story in the comments. It could encourage someone today. If this message has spoken to your heart, take a second to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a word of encouragement. And don't stop here. Watch the next video on the screen now. It might just be the answer you've been praying for. God bless you. And remember, the favor of God will find you.